So hi everyone, good evening for those watching on replay as well. So this is our, I think, session 2 of the Leadership Academy. So the idea of putting this group together was for all you special lot that have already proven you can do some UW stuff and helping you step into sort of leadership, find out a bit more what leadership is about, if that's something that you want to do, how to do it. And my goal, thinking about this really long term, is if you can become a good enough leader that you can then build and create leaders within your business, then eventually you will have what we all want, which is what we call an evergreen business. So a business that is paying you month in, month out, whether you decide to do anything or not. Is that what everyone on this call would like at some point? I know I would. And the only way you can do that is by genuinely creating duplication and genuinely creating leadership within your business. And I know one of the things that I've been very guilty of over the last 13 years is doing too much for everybody. That sounds really conceited. I don't mean it like that, but, because I am very active, it's very easy to sort of assume or to sort of take over, do team meetings, do trainings and all that. And what I want you guys to do is realize that you do have your own business genuinely, from now, all of you do. And it's about sort of putting your arms around your own business, really, isn't it? And taking responsibility for it and, accepting that it is up to you now to do what you want with that business, and yes, of course, I'm here to help and support everybody, but realistically, I think when the team went from 300 to 800, I realized I had a bit of a problem with my method of being so hands-on with everybody, because I literally couldn't, and I didn't, and it actually didn't work very well, because by the end of it we had 600 people that were sort of floating around and not really plugged in as well as we could have done. So that's the thought behind it. You all know that I've set this ridiculously stupid goal to go from where I am now to qualify for Sri Lanka by the end of next week. So I'm out there, I'm doing what I can, and I've just signed up a Daffy Gold homeowner with Simon, the new partner. So there we go. So we've put some points in. So I've only got to do that every day now, I worked out, till the 31st, and I'll be fine. Anyway, we'll see. I've got lots in the diary, so we'll see what happens. So last week we started, first of all, and we're still at this stage, and we're not going to move from this stage until you all feel sort of ready to, and obviously that's going to happen at different times for different people. But last week we talked very much, didn't we, about, in order to be a leader, you first got to lead yourself, and you first have to become the person you need to be in order for people to want to not only join you, but for you to be constantly motivating and inspiring and doing all those things. And I know that, you're all at different stages, you've all got different thoughts about that. Some of you might not want to be that person, which is fine. Still come along to these meetings if you find them useful. I'm not saying that you all need to, completely step up, but I think that this is going to be quite a good accountability session. Again, it's not going to be a long one every week. It's quite short, sharp, but it is a bit of accountability. And I know when I have weekly sessions with somebody and I've said I'm going to do something, I am much, much more likely to do that stuff if I know I'm tapping back into it in a week's time. and accountability is quite often as simple as that. So last week we didn't really set goals. I did give you some tasks, which we'll get onto at the end and see how we've got on with that. But I've been on some training today. Mums in Business, Leona did a great training today, Get Seen conference. I don't know if any of you saw any of it, but I didn't know I was going to be able to, because today I had a really mad day driving kids around, Roxy around and all sorts. But I actually listened to quite a lot of it this morning in the car, and there were some amazing speakers. And I've just got some bits here that I picked out of that, really, which is, all very much on the lines of what we're talking about. And one thing that somebody said, and I can't remember who, so I can't even tell you who these speakers were, because it was all in the car listening randomly. But somebody said this morning, show me your diary and your daily routine, and I will predict your future. And that really, really, absolutely, I thought, what an amazing thing to say. So when, it's all about doing the do when no one's looking, isn't it? So I reckon if any of you gave me your diary over the next 7 days and I saw what was in there, I could probably predict your future with this business, certainly over the next 6 months or a year. So I'm not saying that to, tell anyone off or make you feel stressed. It's just fact, isn't it? So it's about getting so in, your daily routine needs to be something that you can do, some tasks every day without even thinking about it, that are definitely taking you towards whatever your goals are. And it doesn't have to be huge, but it has to be in there. And of course, it doesn't have to be every day, but if it is every day, you're going to get there quicker. And I know that I think for the last 13 years, this sounds really sad, but I don't think there's a day gone by when I haven't done something with my business. And that can just be looking at the portal, can't it? Or it could be just connecting with someone in the team, or it could be a million of things, but I don't think there's many days gone by when I haven't done anything. And it's that compound effect of those little things that you're doing every day that build up to be big things over time. But the trouble is, too many people do a few little things for a month, and we know this is true, and then they think, oh, it hasn't worked. I'm not seeing the results quick enough, so therefore I'm not going to do anything. So they're talking about the role of a leader. The role of a good leader has been able to look inside people and see potential in them that they can't even see for themselves. That is what this business is about. When we bring people into the business, they haven't got a clue what they can achieve. They don't have any belief. They don't have any skills. They only have what we give to them in those very early stages. So that's why when you're introducing people to the business, you've got to make yourself be that person that you might not feel you're ready to be yet, but you have to be that for them. Does that make sense? Because they need to see that in you. They need to see the belief in you. They need to see the vision through you, and they need to believe that you're going to be there to help and support them. Because if they don't think you're going to stay the course, they're not going to join you, are they? We always say no one is going to join to be part of your test. So people will join you when they see conviction in you that that this is working for you. And it doesn't matter if you're not earning money out of it, loads of money out of it or anything like that. It's about you knowing that if you follow a certain path, it will work for you, and believing it so that they follow you. And that's more about recruiting, even more than role of a leader. This is right from the early days when you're showing them the business. The reason I recruit, and Jane recruits lots of people, is because of the confidence inside us and the posture and belief we have when we're talking to people. It's as simple as that. People can see it. And it's really important that you get confident enough that that's how you are showing it. So the three main things that are going to stop maybe people in the business, whatever. And, the first thing probably stopping you guys at the moment a little bit is your lack of confidence and belief in yourself that you're worthy to be a leader. That I know, I can see it on your faces. I know that that's how some of you feel. And that's something that you're going to have to, you're going to have to give yourself a bit of a slap and a bit of look in the mirror and say, look, I know this business inside out. You all do. I can be a leader. I can inspire, motivate people. I can guide people in the right direction. So absolutely, that massive self-limiting belief of lack of confidence in yourself as a leader, you're only going to lose that feeling by stepping into it and starting to take action and then start to see some success. Fear of what other people think. That's a massive one. We all have that. One of the ladies I spoke to today was fascinating. It was all about your brain and how it works, and about got some notes here. Primitive. So it's the primitive brain that is part of the old tribe, when you're trying to please everybody, because if you don't please everybody, you're actually unsafe. You are maybe going to die if you don't stay in with the tribe. So when you're pushed outside of the tribe, it actually is life-threatening. That is actually a core belief we have, that you need to be liked by everyone to be safe. But of course, it's not true anymore. There's certain elements of that are true, but it's not true in our business that if you step outside, or that people perhaps don't think you're going the right way, that you're actually going to die. It's not quite like that. What did someone else say? I didn't actually get it written down, but it was brilliant. Don't let the opinions of people who, it's a bit like that one. Don't listen to the opinions of others that haven't walked the path that you're wanting to walk. It's that sort of thing. So why do we let so many people who are not prepared to step out of their own comfort zone, they're not prepared to get out of their own way, they're just miserable, moaning people, why do we let those people stop us from achieving what we want? Because we worry about what they think of us. And they are not going to come and pay our bills, are they? At the end of the day, they're not going to go and do it for you. You are the only person that can do it for you, and you are worth it. You're all worth more than you're currently getting in life. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be on this call now. You are. You absolutely know that you're worth more. Otherwise, why would you be here at 7:45 on an evening when you could be watching Netflix or whatever? It's because deep down, you know there's more, don't you? You know there's more out of life, and there's more out of you. And you're just desperately looking for the magic pill that's going to make it all slot into place. But sadly, there isn't one. And I've looked, I've taken them all. There isn't any magic pills. It literally is down to you to say enough's enough. I'm worth more. I'm going to do more, and I'm going to have more. And you definitely can. One thing that occurred to me is when we tell our story, the story that we learned to tell in UW about why we've joined the business and all that sort of stuff, we've got to get much more passionate about that, because I heard some stories today that literally gave me goosebumps. Obviously, it wasn't about people joining UW, but it was about people getting to a point in their life when they wanted change, when they really sat up one day and said, I am worth more than this, and I'm going to fight. And if you get some of that passion and emotion into your story why you join this business, you'll have trucks of people wanting to join you. So when you go back, you've all heard my story millions of times, and I won't bore you with it again, but I've got to get better at it, because actually the day I was sitting at my computer, when that email landed in my inbox and I decided to take a better look at this business, I was absolutely run ragged. And I was thinking, do you know what? There's got to be more to life than this. And I am worth more than this. And I know they were the things going through my head. You start telling people that, and they will resonate with you straight away, because most people are thinking that. Most people are thinking, bloody hell, this life thing is frigging hard work. There's got to be more to it than this. And if they hear you say those words, and those words are in their head at the time, they'll go, oh, crikey, this is exactly what I've been looking for. And you'll really make them sit up and think. And I've been saying that to people in my recruiting conversations this week, and that, it is making a difference. And the other time when I thought that was this last year, when I decided I was worth more than I was getting from life. And that's when I started coaching. I started doing different things, because you can do it at any time. It doesn't have to be just about this business. You can make decisions that change your life at any time. And we really need to. So look at your, and the other, so it's the feeling you're not worth it. So it's lack of confidence, fear of what people think, and the feeling that you're not worth it. They are the three most, self-limiting beliefs you can possibly have. So a couple of other things, really look at your energy and your focus. So Claire, you just said how knackered you are tonight and all this, and how can you make yourself feel better so that your energy levels are better? And you have to bring that energy into your coaching conversations, into your recruiting conversations, into your customer presentations, into your chats with your team. You have to bring the energy, the right sort of energy in, because what you focus on, you get. And it's not good enough. We've got responsibility. It's not good enough to be speaking to people if you're not, in the zone. And if you're not in the zone, you need to learn how to get yourself in the zone. That could be putting some music on. It could be go for a walk. It could be chuck a glass of water in your face. It could be whatever you need to do to get in the zone for that conversation. But also longer term is to learn about yourself and work out how you can generally up your levels. And obviously, I'm not going to give you a bloody lecture on fitness and health and diet and all that. But we all know things we can do, don't we, to make ourselves feel better, have more energy and all that. And I do think, definitely it's got to be worth looking at it. The people can see your aura. They can see you. They can see how you're feeling. They can see your energy, and they can see whether they want to join you or not. No one wants to be part of your test. Just have a quick look now. I'm nearly done in my ranting. Okay, so what I thought we would do, just again, it's not going to be long now, just a little touch base. So the tasks last week were, I think they're in this book, but probably not. So I've got about 1 million books on the go. But I know that what they were basically, weren't they, to contact team members. Julie, can you remember what the tasks were? You'll remember because you're good like that.
No, I can remember it was to contact team members, whether they were active or not.
Yeah.
I'll be more present on social media.
Well done. It was be visible, wasn't it? Be visible, contact team members, and the third one was to try and get over your own problems around the feeling of failure, wasn't it? I think it was those three main things that we talked about. No, so I've put and be more visible on Facebook and do more recognition posts and that sort of thing, wasn't it? It was generally about being more visible to the team. So some of you have, some of you haven't. This isn't about, you know, beating anybody up or anything else. But does anyone want to share their week at all in like what you felt you have done that you wouldn't have done if you hadn't come on last week, if it's helped at all or anything like that?
I've had a really good week.
Oh, go on, Julie, you go first. Sorry, then Jane. Julie, go first.
Yeah, I've been working really hard this week. I am absolutely shattered today, and I've still got 3 full days of appointments and football. Not me personally, but yeah, I don't think I would have stepped out of my comfort zone and got on with those phone calls. I mean, it took me all weekend because I was feeling rough, and I really caught up with them on Monday. But I did it, and I've got, I think, probably 2/3 of the people I phoned have got Zoom appointments this week.
Brilliant.
So
well
done.
Well done. That's massive. Well done. So that was catching up with people, bit of team, bit of leads, all that sort of thing, was it? Well done. Amazing. I don't want to make you ill though. Do rest.
No, Sunday's my rest day. It's all right. It's all sorted.
Good. Oh, good. Oh no, really well done. That's absolutely brilliant. Jane, what were you going to say?
All right, so I've gone back through, like started again from the lead sort of from 3 years ago when we started the sort of remote system. I've had 3 or 4 come back to me, like we've got appointments booked in the diary. I went in that, you know, some of the Facebook work groups and signed up Nigel. He's like definitely like that passion and what you were saying about talking, because he's ex-Navy. He hates his job. He's up in Burnley at some health centre just shouting at kids to get off escalators and things. He knows he's worth something more, and he used to work with E.ON. He set up a whole computer system for E.ON. So he's really excited. So obviously like just doing the Facebook thing. And then today, you know, the little community cafe in Cheddar opposite the Bath Arms?
Yes.
Right, that's there to help the local community and stuff. We went in there for a coffee. We've left flyers and cards, and we're going to be helping people. We're going to sign them up as a business, and then we're going to help people in there who want to save money and what have you. Brilliant. They're looking for volunteers, and obviously she can't use a coffee machine or do anything like that. So I said I'll help out. I'll help her out in there, because obviously I'm a chef and I know coffee machines and cooking and stuff. Just a couple of days a week, but that means I'm out and about talking to people who are coming into the cafe. Brilliant. So hopefully that will generate a lot of leads. You know. Brilliant.
Well done. Absolutely well done. And it'll make you feel better, won't it, to be out and speaking?
Yeah, I'll be out of the house. I'll be speaking to people that aren't teenagers or 8-year-olds. Yeah, or on the end of a phone. You know. So yeah, no, it'll be good.
Well done. That makes a big difference. Talking to adults face to face.
Yes, I know. Very rarely happens.
No.
I'm very excited because I'm going down to Cornwall on Saturday. It's Tom Marshall's 50th, but nobody mentioned it because he doesn't know we're going. Ray and I going down there as a surprise. So Tom, Lou's invited us down there, so we're going to just turn out just before they go to a restaurant. And I'm so excited. Like proper people, and not proper people, but you know, like you can touch them and you see, it'd be so cool. Good. Anyone else? Roz, have you had a good week?
Frustrating. But I mean, I've done a lot of things I wouldn't normally have done.
Good.
And I mean, it's a case of just keep going at it. You know, I've had people to date I've contacted and they've given incorrect phone numbers.
Right, Roz, I'm going to pick you up on this one now. So your frustration that comes out in the messages, okay, is you feeling frustrated at the universe, and it'll keep happening to you for as long as you go, doesn't matter, whatever.
Well, I mean, that's why I said it doesn't matter. I've sent them an email.
Yeah,
they come back to me, great. I have got the most lovely sounding lady who she rang me 3 times yesterday.
Brilliant.
And each time the kids were in the way, and she said, look, well, I don't think I can do anything while they're around. We'll meet up at 11 this morning and you can show me. She didn't even ask what it was. And I was really, really excited, and she wasn't there at 11. Something may have happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I was just going to say, actually, I'll get
back to her on Friday and say, do hope everything's okay. I'm really excited about showing this to you, because I believe you could make a huge success of this, something like that.
Brilliant. Well done. Yeah, I had a lady that didn't come at all, like didn't answer my calls when she said she would, and I thought that was it. And she's just texted me tonight, said, I'm so sorry, I was just manic. Can we please speak?
Yeah.
Never know, do you?
And I've ordered a new tablet because my laptop played up badly while I was talking to one chap who I did the presentation, and he wanted to be a partner, and he started signing up for partner, and then the phone went dead. And I've messaged him, I've WhatsApped him, I've sent him an email.
They get cold feet because they suddenly think that you're scamming them for money. When
Yeah.
I've had it a few times.
You know,
They-
I've done what I can to get back in touch with him next.
yeah, no, that's fine. No, it's
Yeah,
fine.
but I've done a supported appointment with a new partner, and they're really excited.
Well done. That's good.
So that went well.
That's
Unfortunately, it's past the 45 days, but never mind.
good. No, it doesn't matter, does it?
Doesn't matter. No.
Brilliant. Claire, Kate, Chris, anyone want to add anything to their week? Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, I just feel I've had a really busy week, quite productive. Hasn't amounted to a huge amount, but yesterday I had a couple of customer calls. There was Colleen and I went across to see some local customers that had Sky with mini boxes installed, and it stopped working. So
Badger. Come here.
it took us about an hour and a half to get it working, but we sorted it.
Well done.
Well, mostly Colleen did, because I had to leave for another appointment where I caught up with someone that's someone I network with who's a UW customer from about 15 years back, only has energy. And they asked me for help to have a look at their bill. So I went over and we talked about adding services and potentially maybe coming as team members, because they're in the wedding industry, sort of weddings, disco and photography between them. So yeah, they have a need, but they've always pigeonholed it as being very much like Forever Living. And I just explained the difference between a service and a product, and the fact that we're helping save people, not asking them to spend more. And yeah.
Yeah, well done. Well, it sounds
So-
like you've all had a productive week. And yeah, Together Energy went, didn't they, today as well? Bristol Energy. So that's another two gone. So yeah, we're
Well, I made at least, I think it was 23 phone calls. Mind you, some of those were phoning back because they had answer machines. And that's probably more than I've made in the last 2-3 months
Brilliant.
in total.
well done.
And it didn't worry me in the slightest.
Brilliant.
But it's just once I've got down and sat down and done the first one, it's fine. It's just getting that going.
Yes.
But,
And
you
you
You'll
know,
have to join us at 9:30 in the morning, Deb.
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah, this is you're still, yeah, yeah.
Every
Yes,
morning
please.
with Barry.
With Barry, yeah.
I've been doing it for about 3 or 4 weeks now, and it does help you make that first call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I have been doing it with Vanessa, but unfortunately, she's gone down with COVID, and she's not at all well, which is why she's not on here tonight. And she,
Hello, Vanessa. I know you'll watch this tomorrow probably, so I hope you feel
yes, she gets a few minutes when she thinks that she's feeling better, so she's on the phone to me saying, "Right now, let's," and then suddenly she doesn't feel, it's one of those things. But hi, Vanessa. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah. Come
All
on,
right.
Vanessa, you'll be well soon. Brilliant. Okay, well done. I mean, you know, if it's made you just do a little bit more than you might have done, or just giving you some fresh ideas, that's what it's all about, isn't it? So
Yeah.
keep focusing. So I put some, what did I put for tasks for tonight? Yeah, I mean, really continue to work through the team, continue to work through the lapsed partners, with a massive focus on Power Up. I know the tickets aren't available yet, but you know, if we could have a conversation with everybody and just say, you know, is this in your radar for this year? This is a great event, come along to that. And of course, if they can't make Power Up, at least get them along to the next team meeting, you know, second Monday in the month or something. Just try and get them along to something so they start to get more involved. I've put reach out to 3 new people a day, just as a little challenge for you all for the next week. So again, that could be it could be old leads, you know, it doesn't matter, but reaching out to 3 people a day will be quite a good amount to start to see some results. And then I wanted you all to look at your story, you know, so revisit your story. I mean, Claire, your story can be the most, you know, emotional and emotive story if you tell it like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I watched your video of that appointment this morning. And I will put my hands up. I so rarely tell my story on an appointment. I so rarely, because it's that embarrassment. It's that, to me, it's like, it's not appropriate. This is about them, not about me. That's what I'm saying to myself.
Yeah, I understand why.
That's the message that I'm saying to myself.
Yeah.
But you put that story in with such ease and flow. that it sort of seemed a natural thing to do. So I'm going to try and adopt
Yeah, so
adopt
on
that.
that appointment, I think I put it in on the money slide, didn't I, later on, wasn't it? It wasn't at the beginning, or was it at the beginning?
No, it was towards the beginning. But
Okay.
I know when you came to see me for the appointment, you said right at the start, you said, right, before I tell you about the company, let me tell you about me.
Yeah, I do that. I do
Now,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would feel uncomfortable doing that. I have done it on occasion, but I haven't always. Sometimes I've done it later on in the presentation when we talk about why people might want to do this and the pension side. So
Mhm.
I'll bring it in then.
Mhm.
But I liked what you did this morning, because it was the way you sort of just said what an opportunity it can give, and then you went on to tell your story.
Yeah, it is
Uh,
so important to get it in there. I tell you what, I very often tell it on the phone call, you know, when we're ringing the leads and stuff. I will very often say, just before I tell you about the company, I'd just like to give you a little bit of background about myself so you know who you're speaking to. And of
yeah,
course,
it's putting it in context, isn't it?
yeah,
Giving
yeah,
it a reason
yeah,
to
exactly.
say.
That's what it is. So it's not just
Yeah.
I just want to talk about myself for 5 minutes. This is I want to explain why I'm doing this, because it might help you understand more about the business. And then obviously the story now is really powerful because I've been in long enough and you can talk about the passive income, but that doesn't matter. The story, I've done that for the last 13 years, which is why I am where I am now. You know, I didn't wait till I was senior group leader to start telling my story. My story has always been powerful. Like all of you have a powerful story from day one. Doesn't matter if you haven't earned 1 penny out of the business. So Simon, the man I'm helping at the moment, so he's just qualified his position tonight. So we've just signed up a double gold now. He's really poorly. He's got, I'm not exactly sure what's wrong with him, but he hasn't been able to hold down a job for 6 years. He had a job for 20 years, had to leave it. You know, he's currently always in hospital. He came, his wife was a referral of one of my customers who's one of my friends. So I signed her up as a customer. And when we were chatting, I obviously showed her the business thing and my story at the end of the presentation. She said, oh, I wonder if Simon could do this. He's so desperate to find something, you know, he can do. And of course, when I met him, you know, he was, Simon, if you're watching this, I hope you don't mind me discussing you. I don't know that you will, because you're not a future team leader and above for a while, but you might be watching it in the archives. But it was so nice for me to be able to genuinely, you know, show him how this is totally flexible. It can fit around his days. It's up to him, you know, when he works. You know, Julie, you always say that, don't you, so brilliantly with that sort of situation. And, you know, to see him tonight, he just signed up his mum and we signed up his friend the other day and he's a customer. So that's 3 already. And, you know, I've said, let's try and do another 3 before the end of January. I think I've got 4 or 5 in the diary with him now. But to see him, you know, feeling that he can be independent again, you know, and have some money coming into the household of his own, you know, and all that stuff it is bloody life changing. I don't care what you say, it's absolutely incredible.
That him having a purpose again,
Mm.
that's what I've found has really boosted my confidence, because I lost my purpose when I lost teaching, and to be able to just come back in and you know, do this and have a purpose again has just made such a big deal to me. So he'll be feeling the same, the fact that he can now contribute to the household income and, you know, just do it, even though you know, it might not be very much, you're just doing a little bit towards it.
Yeah, and just, you know, like you say, having something else for your brain to think about, have something to focus on, you know, that's really positive as well. So I'm buzzing at the moment, because you know, I've contacted, so since my 85 messages I sent on Sunday or whatever, and however many people I've shown the business, I've lost track because I'm useless at ratios and statistics, as you all know. I just go off like a mad woman and do loads of stuff, but I must write it all down. But I'm really excited because I know that I have now shown a load of people this week, this business, because I've upped my activity and I've got myself out there. And every person you touch with this business, you don't know where it's going to go. So why, you know, that alone should be our mission, shouldn't it? To get out there and show it. And it's not, okay, I put the holiday out there as a thing. I don't really care whether I go to Sri Lanka or not. If I do, it'd be lovely. If I don't, I'm just going to pay and go there anyway. So I'm going to go to Sri Lanka one way or another. But, you know, it's just having that little goal that might drive you, something that might drive you, but it's the knock-on effect of the activity you do that you get the buzz out of. You know, it is actually, it's the journey, not the destination, that really should give you the buzz if you're doing the right thing. And I've so changed all my goals today as well. Like really had a whoa moment when I was out and about today and realized I don't want a house at all. I don't want a house and land and stables and animals and all that at all. I want freedom. You know, when the kids leave school, which is going to be 5 or 6 years time, well, no, longer than that, probably. I don't know how old Eric is. He's 10. All right, ages, yeah. But when they go, I want to be able to just go, you know, go where I want, when I want. I want to travel abroad. I want to live abroad. I want to do loads of stuff. And I've been kidding myself about what I said my goals were, because I thought that's what I should want. But actually it's not now. Maybe it's changed because, you know, I've been in the business a few years now, haven't I? But it is interesting. You know, sometimes you've got to really drill down, what do I actually want? And I love really getting a buzz out of helping people, you know, really getting a buzz out of introducing people to the business, the coaching I'm loving, you know, and really enjoying that. So that's what it's all about, isn't it? You've got to make sure that your journey is good as well as the destination. And that's what we have got. We've got best of both worlds with this business, definitely.
Can I just quickly come up with something? Would it be an idea if we had a WhatsApp group where we could practice doing our whys for various types of people that we're talking to? Because this lady I was speaking to yesterday, I briefly told her my why. And then when she said something, I said, oh, I was talking to someone the other day, one of our team, who, like you, is a single mum. And she's been able to not have to do a part-time job because by the time she'd paid for the childminder and the petrol, she was only making £1 an hour. And if we've heard of other people's whys, you can bring in that personal contact of someone you've just been speaking to.
Well, the best place to put them is in the top team Facebook group. With a picture of yourself and your story in there.
Yeah.
And say, "Senior's asked us to do this." Sorry, who was that? Can't remember, don't know. So yes, you could just say, you know, we after our meeting the other night, we've all decided that we're going to rewrite our stories and really practice writing it somewhere else. So you really come across with that passion. It's hard when it's written, but you know,
would it be better to do it on the video, because then it's more like you're doing it to someone?
Roz.
Yes, I was just going to say, do a live, go in there and do a live. That would be really good. But if you can't, if you don't want to do a live, do a video. If you don't want to do a video, do a post, but really think about your words. Do you know what I mean? Take some time to make it really powerful, because absolutely that'll help everybody. You know, sort of title it your name and then your background in sort of at the beginning, so that people then with people with those backgrounds are going to find it quite easily. I would love to read, you know, I don't know, I haven't heard all of your stories properly, how you say it to prospects. So it'd be really useful to do that.
If we just make a bit of a library of it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Challenge on.
Challenge on. There we are. So Roz has added a task, added element to the
Thanks,
task.
Roz.
Yeah, we love you, Roz.
If I found out that there's skiing or sporting people, instead of saying, you know, my usual, I'll say, well, I did this to fund my skiing holidays, which it's done for the last 20 years, because it's relevant to them then.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about everyone putting hashtag my story?
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
So that you can then search all the stories and bring them up.
Very good. Hashtag my story. I like that. Cool. We sound really.
How do you do that?
So literally just put hashtag my story at the beginning of the post. So just type hashtag my story. And then if you go into the group and search that, they'll all come up. So when you go onto to do your post, start the post with hashtag. So just the hashtag symbol and then my story. And then you
without any gaps.
Without any gaps. Hang on, I'll put it in the chat.
I was just doing that.
Oh, well done, Chris. You put it in the chat. Well done. Great minds think alike. So you start.
I'm getting a new tablet, so that'll help as well.
Hashtag my story like that.
Yeah.
You just put that at the top of your post. Put your post in as normal, or if you're doing a video, put it in underneath. And and then when someone goes into that group and puts that in the search bar, all of those posts will pop up very easily.
Oh, brilliant. Good. Okay, well, we'll do that.
It's a social media tip as well from Chris. Well done, Chris. That's what it's all about. See, it's good.
Brilliant. Yep. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Good. All right. Well, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to have my tea, if that's all right, unless anyone else got any other questions or anything. So like Wednesday night, 7:30, it's going to be a short thing. It's not something that you have to, you know, book out the night for, but it is accountability. And then moving from let's get leading ourselves first, and then we can start getting into the nitty gritty of what that means for everybody else. All right.
Okay, Brill, thank you.
That's all right. Brilliant. Have a good evening. Make sure you make it count, as you're never going to get tonight back.
Sounds so like my mother.
All right. See you all soon. Take care.
Thank you, Claire, for your help.
Bye.
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 Bye.